everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome to a new playthrough on the channel. After our misadventures in the Middle East and Warfighter last week, we're heading back to the baseball diamond for a baseball game as we play season ticket baseball. Just like it sounds, it's a baseball simulator. We're going to find our time machine and turn it back to 2003 for today's matchup. With that, let's go meet our teams via our starting pitchers. First up, we have our visiting pitcher for the New York Mets. Steve Traxel will be our starter today. 33 games started, 16-10 on the season, 3.78 ERA with 111 strikeouts on the season. So that's a look at his card. I'll explain a little bit more about how the cards and the dice all tie together, but that's just an introduction to our starting pitcher. Now let's go meet our home pitcher and our home field. The Mets today are going to be visiting the Atlanta Braves at Turner Field in 2003. Their starter will be Greg Maddux, 36 games started in 2003, 16-11 with a 3.96 ERA, 124 strikeouts and 33 walks in 2003. So this is a quick look at Turner Field. There might be roles that bring us here, but I'll detail more about how those work before we actually start the game. But those are our teams set up, so let's go check our main shot over at the game area. We've got our shot all set here. This is a July game, so we'll roll for the weather. Base temperature in July is, I believe this is a day game, or we'll call it a day game for the time being. So base temperature in July is 75. Actually, we can factor in for that. So 75 degrees plus another 11 is 86 degrees today. That's going to be a scorcher. Where's my pen? Oh, here we go. 86 degrees. We're not going to figure in the rain, though. We'll roll for... We're not going to use the rain. We'll just use the base temperature. We'll pretend it's a nice, clear day today. So, you're probably wondering what this big board is. This is a little something I got to help me visualize a little bit better with the base runners in a baseball game. I've got yellow. This board actually came off of Amazon. This is a dry erase board. I mostly got it for the numbered because the numbered magnets came with it. So we've got numbered positions on each spot on the diamond to help remind me where each number goes. Those are the yellow, and then the orange magnets will be our base runners. I've got the starting pitcher against their opposing lineups. Those are down here just off shot. Got the field all set, so now we're all ready to go. With that, to borrow the words of every baseball empire, play ball. Before we get into our first inning of play, let's go ahead and look at our lineup today. For the Mets, we'll have Jose Reyes. Once it decides to focus, we'll have Jose Reyes in short, Jeff Duncan in center field, Jason Phillips is on first today, Cliff Floyd is in the left, Ty Wigginton at third base, Timo Perez in right, if I can ever make it cooperate. Vance Wilson catching, Ray Sanchez at second base, and then Steve Traxel has a special pitcher card. That's the lineup Greg Maddux is facing, and just in case you're wondering, I grabbed a couple of dials so I could track the runs at first glance. The way you'll resolve plays in this game is you'll use 3 dice. You'll use a D6, and 2 D10s. The way I'm going to read them is it's going to be easy. So I'm calling it my RPG acronym for these dice. So I'm going to read red, purple, gold. RPG. So this would be your hundreds digit, then your tens, then your units. And then depending on what the result is, will determine where it comes off the cards. So Greg Maddux is finishing up his warm-up tosses, and Jose Reyes steps to the plate. Maddux with the pitch. That will be a 120, so the 1 will come off of Maddox's card. 20 is going to indicate a 3XX, which means the tens and ones digits will stay unchanged. 320, actually 320 will bring us over to the batting card for Reyes, which will be a fly out to right. Fly out to right where Gary Sheffield will wait for it. He'll squeeze that, 1 out. That's 1 away. That'll bring Jeff Duncan up to the hill, who had 1 homer, 10 RBI in 2003. Maddox will look in for the sign from Blanco, and he'll pitch. That's a 6:48, so that'll bring us to Turner Field. 6:48 will be a 5-4 putout, so that'll get grounded over to third, where Castilla will grab it, flip it over to Robert Fick at first, and that'll be 2 away, right? 6:48, yes. Actually, that's a 5-3 putout. Since we don't have a runner at second yet. And then that'll bring Phillips up with 11 homers and 58 RBI. Maddox looks on to Blanco, and he'll get the sign for the pitch. Whoop. As I'll have the gold die go flying. That will be a 303, which will come off of Phillips's card, and that'll be a strikeout. Maddox, not really known for his strikeout power. He tended to be more of a control pitcher, but he'll get a called third strike and retire the side. 1, 2, 3 will go the Mets in the first. Then looking at our lineup for the Braves, that's awaiting Steve Traxel. We'll have Rafael Furcal at short, Mark DeRosa at second base, Gary Sheffield over in right, Chipper Jones in left, Andrew Jones in center, Robert Fick at first, Vinny Castilla at third, Henry Blanco catching, and then Greg Maddux coming to the plate. Leading off for the Braves, though, will be the shortstop, Rafael Furcal. The dice are over here. Rafael Furcal with 15 homers and 61 RBI in 2003. Traxel looks in for the sign from Wilson, and the pitch is coming. That'll be a 121, which will come off of Traxel's card. So that'll be a ground ball right back to the pitcher, and he'll flip it over to first for the easy put out. So 1 away. And that'll bring DeRosa up to the plate, who had 6 homers and 22 RBI in 2003. Traxel looks in at Wilson and the pitch. That's a 475 for Traxel's a righty, so 475. That'll be a fly out to left. That'll be a fly out to left where Cliff Floyd will wait for it, and he'll make the catch 2 away. And that'll bring the right fielder Sheffield up, who's got some power, 39 homers and 122 RBI in 2003. Traxel will have to handle him carefully. Looks in at Wilson for the sign and the pitch. That's a 603. That'll bring us back to Turner Field. 603 would be a 4-6-3 double play, but that'll turn into a 4-3 put out for a ground ball to second, where Sanchez will grab that, flip it over to first, and 1, 2, 3 go the Braves in the first, much like the Mets. No score after 1, so let's move to the top of the second, where the heart of the Mets order is due up against Greg Maddux. We haven't needed the base runner magnets yet. Leading off for the Mets in the top of the second is Cliff Floyd. 18 homers, 68 RBI in 2003. Maddux looks into Blanco for the sign and the pitch. 159. 159. That'll be a fly out to third, where Castile will wait for it. He'll squeeze it and get the easy fly out. So 1 away. Ty Wigginton coming up next to the plate. He'll be the batter at third for the Mets. 11 homers, 71 RBI in 2003. Maddox looks on for the sign and the pitch. This will be our first. We'll re-roll the gold die. 570. Actually, 507. So that'll send us to a position player. 5 is the third baseman, which is Castilla. Yep. So we've got to go to his card. Actually, no. 507 is actually a rare play because there is no zero position. So we have to go into the rule book. So page 29. Let's see, 507. We've got 1 out. Trigger a reroll on one of the rare play tables. So we've got to roll on the rare play. Right. Yes, runner's empty. 507's a rare play. So we're going to re-roll and read the dice the exact same way. That's a 116, which on here, hard ground ball deflects. Okay, so the hard ground ball deflects off the pitcher's leg fielded to the second baseman. To reach safely, batter must challenge the second baseman's arm rating. So, challenging the arm, I thought that was on here. Oh, it's marked with a question mark, so that's how he's got a challenge. So, the runner, so Wigginton's got a speed of 4. I'm just going to double check how this works. So, challenging the fielder's arm. Okay, choose its challenge, roll the result dice, and add them together. Runner is safe if their speed plus the dice total equals or exceeds the fielder's arm plus 10. The fielder we established was... Let's see, what did I do with those? I just had those rare plays. So the second baseman is the fielder. Second baseman is DeRosa. His arm is... He's at second base, right? Yes, DeRosa's at second, so his arm is a 2. Plus 10 is 12. So Wigginton's got a speed of 4, so it's got to be equal to or greater than 12. So we got roll all 3 d6. 4 plus 13, 15. So Wigginton will definitely be safe. So that'll be a single. He was hitter number 5. So we'll bring him to first base. And the batter, I'll put him off to the side. Batter will be Timo Perez now. Wigginton with the first Met hit of the day. Defensive strategy here, we've got a decision we can make. Runner on first and second base empty. So holding the runner. They will hold the runner at first. I'm just making sure there's nothing about double play depth here. I'm just making sure of that. Doesn't look like there is. But our batter now is Timo Perez, who had 4 homers and 42 RBI in 2003. Actually, bunting might not be a terrible idea here. So I think Perez is going to try the bunt. See if he can advance Wigginton over to second base. So he'll roll on the... So his bunt rating... Actually, what's his bunt rating? His bunt's an 8, so it's actually a pretty good... He's actually got a pretty good bunt rating. The question is, am I going to bunt or is he going to swing away? I think he's going to bunt. So we'll roll all 3 dice plus the bunt rating of an 8, and we'll consult the bunt chart. So it's an 8 plus 7 is 15, which will be a fielder's choice. Defense may take the automatic out at first or challenge any forced runner's speed with the fielder's arm. What's Wigginton's speed? His speed is a 4. So the fielder's arm... actually, are they just going to take the automatic out? I don't think they want to do that. 10 plus the runner's speed. His speed is a 4. So actually 15 would be a fielder's choice to the catcher. What's Blanco's arm? Blanco's arm catching is a 5. And they need to beat a 14. He's going to try to challenge Wigginton's speed with his arm. So Blanco is a 5. He'll need to beat a 14 on this, which that won't do. So runner's actually going to be safe with an infield single. 5. Perez was 6. Maddox in a little bit of trouble here as the Mets are starting to put something together here. Perez will get on with the infield single as they tried to get the out at second. That will bring Wilson up to the plate, who had 8 homers and 39 RBI in 2003. Maddox looking in at a little bit of trouble here. I'm trying to remember if there was an option here to try to get the runner to double play depth, and it doesn't look like they're trying to get the infield at double play depth, but I don't think there is. I know that's a big thing in inside pitch, but it doesn't look like it's a thing here. I thought it was, but Vance Wilson steps up to the plate. Maddox looks in at Blanco trying to get out of this inning. Maddox will pitch. That's a cocked D6. That will be a 649. That'll be up at Turner Field. 649 will be a 5. Will be grounded to third, where Castillo will grab it. They'll take the out at second on the fielder's choice. So 5. And Wilson will reach on the fielder's choice. That'll be a 5-4 fielder's choice. 2 away, and that'll bring Ray Sanchez, the shortstop, up to the plate. He had no homers and 12 RBI in 2003. Maddox just needs one more good pitch, and the fans at Turner Field are hoping for a good one. Let's see what Maddox is able to do with this. 266 will come off of Maddox's card against a righty. 266. Uh-oh, that's trouble. That's a deep fly to center field. Going back to the wall is Andrew Jones. That's deep to center field. Add batter's power rating to 2D10 and adjust powers is 0. So let's find out what happens here with 2D10. Does Ray Sanchez get this out? That's a 10. That'll be actually be a very deep single. Back to the track, Jones won't get it. Actually, that'll be a shallow single. He won't get it. Let me double check how the pluses work. I know at the very least, Wigginton's going to score. That's going to be a single. Wigginton will score. That's not what I want. There's strategy on base running. Station to station base running. Maybe that's what I want. No. We didn't have any of that, so that will put, who's 7? That'll put Wilson at least on second. Wigginton will score. Sanchez will reach. So that's over to... Okay, no, that's just going to be a single, no opportunity for advance, I don't think. There should be a symbol for plus in there. Trying to find it. Runner advances an extra base. So Sanchez, let's see, Sanchez, okay, actually the runner's Perez, who doesn't have great speed, so I think he's going to hold at second. But anyway, that is enough to make it 1-0 Braves. Or no, not Braves, 1-0 Mets. Which I'm going to use this dial is going to be for I think this is the forest dial, this is going to be for the Mets, the island's going to be for the Braves. Stadium groans, they are not very happy with that pitch from Maddox. And then Ray Sanchez will reach with a single of his own, and that will bring Traxel up to the plate. We'll see what Traxel can do with this. Looks like he didn't have his own batter card in 2003, so he's just getting a generic pitcher card. Maddox with the pitch. As right now Turner Field is panicking. 6:43, that's sending us right back to Turner Field. 6:43, that'll be grounded to second. Where the shortstop, that'll be grounded to second. Where DeRosa grabs it. He'll flip it over to Rafael Furcal for the easy 6-4 putout. And the Braves will get out of the inning, but 3 hits by the Mets and 2 men left on board. That could have been a lot worse for the Braves. It is now 1-0 Mets heading into the bottom of the second. And that'll bring the heart of Atlanta's order up. Chipper Jones steps into the batter's box as Traxel finishes his warm-up tosses. 27 homers, 106 RBI in 2003. Let me get the Mets lineup all sorted out. Let's see, Sanchez was 8th. Perez was 6th. And here's Wigginton. Okay. Now that we've got all that figured out, we're ready for the Mets in the top of the third. But we have the bottom of the second to get to first. Steve Traxel waits for Chipper Jones to step into the batter's box, and the offering from Traxel. 398 will be coming off of Jones's card. 398, that's just a straight homer. That ball is high. That ball is deep. And they'll just watch it go over their head. The outfield will just watch it go over their heads. Home run, Chipper Jones. Stadium cheers. And just like that, with one swing of Chipper Jones's powerful bat, we are all knotted up at 1. Chipper Jones will trot around the bases, and Traxel can't believe he left that one hanging over that curveball hanging over the plate. Just like that, we've got a tie game for Andrew Jones coming up to the plate. 36 homers, 116 RBI in 2003. Traxel with the pitch. That's a 121. That'll be coming off of Traxel's card. That'll be a ground ball right back to Traxel, and he'll flip it over to first for the easy putout. Andrew Jones will be retired, which will bring Fick up to the plate. 11 homers, 80 RBI in 2003. Traxel with the pitch. That's a 629. That'll bring us right back to Turner Field. 629, that'll be a fly ball to the shortstop. It'll be skied a mile high. Reyes will wait for it, and he'll make the catch for 2 away. Which will then bring Vinny Castilla to the plate. 22 homers, 76 RBI in 2003. Decent power. Traxel will look in on Wilson for the delivery and the pitch. That's a 101. That'll turn into a 301, and Vinny Castilla will strike out swinging at the heat. And Traxel, after giving up a homer, Traxel sits the rest of the next 3 Braves down in order. After 2, we're all tied as the Mets play small ball, and the Braves will rely on the long ball to get their runs on the board. Top of the third coming up next, and we've got the top of the order due back up for the Mets. Stepping into the batter's box for the second time already is Jose Reyes, who flew out to right his first time up. Maddox looks in at Blanco, and he'll get the sign for the pitch. Once I find the lid for the dice cup, here comes the offering from Maddox. That's a 525, which will actually be a fielder play. So 2 is our catcher. Catcher is Blanco, which will bring us to this card. 525. He will fly out to 525. Right, it was going to be skied a mile high. Blanco looking moderately bored. He's got time for a 30-second power nap before he'll catch that, so that'll be 1 away. Next up is Jeff Duncan, the center fielder. He grounded out his first time up. Maddox looking on at Blanco, who's trying to settle down he's trying to get control back after he got into a little bit of trouble in the second. Maddox with the pitch. That's a 354. 354. Maddox will get him swinging at a changeup. Route number 2. Next up will be Jason Phillips, who struck out looking in the first. Maddox waits for the sign from Blanco and the pitch. That's a 693. That cannot be good. 693. Phillips is going to end up with a double. He is batter number 3, so he's going to end up with a double. With 2 outs, and let's see if Cliff Floyd can bring him in. Floyd, who flew out his first time up back in the second. Floyd now stepping into the batter's box. Maddox waiting for the sign from Blanco on the pitch. Oop. Let's put that through the tower. 240. 240. He's a lefty. He's going to fly out to third this time, where Castillo will wait for it. Actually, he flew out to the same place last time. Castillo will wait for it. He'll squeeze it, and that'll end the inning. So the Mets get a 2-out double, but they end up not being able to do anything with it. Score remains tied. Phillips and then Floyd. Okay. Stepping into the bottom of the third now, leading off will be Vinny Castilla. No, it's not Vinny Castilla. Leading off is Henry Blanco, who had 1 homer and 13 RBI in 2003. Not a big threat for home run power. Traxel with the pitch. That's a 192. 192 will be lined out. Oop, that can come back. That'll be lined out to first base, where Phillips will grab that, flying at him for 1 out. Next up is Greg Maddox, who doesn't have his own batter card, so we don't have any batting stats for Maddox. Let me move that out of shot. Let me put that over here. All right, Maddox due up first. Traxel with the offering. $389. 389. Does Maddox have a contact rating? He does not. $389. Yeah, they didn't give him a contact rating. Let me see if there's a... I don't think there's a batter card for him. Yeah, I don't see a contact rating on... Oh, contact rating of a 1. Durr. Never mind. I just wasn't seeing it. So contact rating of a 1. He's a... Okay, so contact rating of a 1. 389. He'll strike out swinging. 2 away will bring the top of the Braves order back to the plate. As Rafael Furcal steps back into the batter's box, he grounded back to the pitcher on his first time up. Traxel waits for the sign from Wilson and the pitch. $198. $198. That's going to be another line out right to Phillips, and the Braves will go 1-2-3 in the third. After 3, score remains tied at 1. Getting ready for the top of the fourth. Let me flip over for call. Top of the fourth now, and the middle of the Mets' order is due up. Top of the fourth coming up as Greg Maddux finishes up with his warm-up tosses, and he waits for Ty Wigginton to step into the batter's box. Wigginton had a single his first time up. Maddux will look in on Blanco for the sign and the pitch. Will be a 6:07. That'll bring us up to Turner Field. 6:07 will be a strikeout, though. Wigginton will go after a curveball that was well out of the zone. Oop, 1 away, not 3. And that'll bring Timo Perez up to the hill, who also had a single his first time up. Maddux looks to be settling in after giving up an early run in the game. Perez with the Maddux looks in at Blanco for the sign and the pitch. That's a 6:35. That'll bring us right back to Turner Field. 6:35. That'll be skied into center field, where Andrew Jones will wait for it. He'll make the catch 2 away. And that'll bring Vance Wilson up, who grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second. Maddux looks in at Blanco and waits for the pitch. $6.68. We're definitely getting our money's worth out of the... That's a wild pitch. That'll be ball 1, so we'll pitch again. $6.59. Let's see, $6.59. That'll be grounded to first, where Fick will grab it. He'll flip it over to Maddux, and that will retire the side. 1-2-3 will go the Mets in the top of the fourth. Bottom of the fourth now, with Atlanta starting to bring the heart of its order up. Mark DeRosa's up, but he flew out his first time up. Traxel will look in for the pitch. $4.39. Traxel the righty. $4.39. That'll be grounded to second, where Sanchez will flip it over to Phillips at first for the easy putout. Sheffield due up. He grounded out his first time up as well. Traxel looking in at Wilson for the sign. He'll get it. He'll accept the sign and the offering. $141. Traxel, that'll get skied to right field. We're over in right field. Perez will wait for it. He'll squeeze it down. 2 away. That'll bring Chipper Jones up, who tied this game back in the second with his solo blast. Traxel is going to have to handle Jones very carefully. Looking in at Wilson, gets the sign and the pitch. Let's see, that is a $5.91. So 9 is the right fielder. Right fielder for the Mets is Timo Perez. No, wait. Okay, they're giving him left field, so right is actually Cliff Floyd? No. How do I have 2 left fielders? I'm putting Perez in right. So he's going to be our 9 today. So $5.91 is going to get skied to Perez, where he'll squeeze it, and that will retire the side. So Perez getting his workout in today. Top of the fifth coming up as Greg Maddux finishes up his warm-up tosses, and Ray Sanchez steps into the batter's box. Sanchez had a single his first time up. Hopefully Maddux can do a little bit less of that. Here's the pitch from Maddux. That's a 269. 269 versus a righty. Uh-oh. That's not the way you want to start the at-bat. It's deep to center field. Sanchez's power is a 0, so we need the 2D10. Does Sanchez get enough on this to put the Mets ahead? 7. He does not, but he'll get enough on it to end up with a single, with another single. So 8. So Sanchez is going to end up with another single. And he'll lead off the inning with that single as we bring Traxel up to the batter's box. He grounded out last time to end the second. Maddux looks into Blanco and the pitch. That's a 588. 8 is our center fielder. Center fielder for the Braves is Andrew Jones. 588. 588, and Traxel's going to end up with a single helping his own cause, which will send Sanchez to second base with a speed of 2. Could he challenge Jones's arm in center field? That would be a 16. He's not going to try. He's not even going to try it. He's going to just hold at. He's just going to hold at second base with a single. Andrew Jones has a very good arm. Trying to challenge a 16 with a speed of 2 does not seem like a smart idea. But Maddux is finding himself in a little bit of trouble here in the 5th. He's got both leadoff batters on with nobody out, and Reyes coming up to the plate. Reyes is 0 for 2. He's flown out twice today. Blanco is going to go talk to Maddux and tell him to calm down. Maddux will make the pitch. That's a 244. Against a switch lefty, 244. He's going to fly out to left field. Will Reyes, left field where Chipper Jones will wait for that one. Or no, Chipper Jones. Yeah, Chipper Jones is in the left, and that'll be 1 away. That will bring Jeff Duncan up to the plate. Jeff Duncan is 0 for 2. He struck out and grounded out. Maddux trying to get out of this inning. Fatigue will start being a thing after this inning for both batters. Maddux with the pitch. 684 brings us right back to Turner Field. 684. He's going to end up with a single. That'll be a single. Well, I don't know where that's going to be a single to. I've not been adding 10 for Turner Field, but I don't think we've had any home team batters going to Turner Field. Going to the Turner Field sheet. So yeah, 684 is going to end up with a single. Sanchez still has pretty bad speed, so he's going to stay put at third base. But as it is, Jeff Duncan is number 2, actually. Wait a minute. Okay, I don't know why I put that slash there. Reyes flew out, but Duncan's going to end up with a single. And just like that, the bases are full of Mets, and the Braves are in deep trouble. They're going to get some activity going in the bullpen. Maddux is not settling down at all here. Who are they going to start warming up in the bullpen? They really don't want to go to the bullpen this early, but they're sensing they don't have a choice. They're going to get... They're probably going to need some long relief at this point, so they're going to get Trey Hodges warming up in the bullpen. And that'll bring Jason Phillips up to the plate. Jason Phillips is 1 for 2 with a double and a strikeout today. Blanco is going to get out to the mound and tell Maddux to settle down. They're trying to get out of the inning. They need a double play ball desperately. The fans at Turner Field are hoping for the same thing. Maddux is usually known as a ground ball pitcher. This would be a great time for a nice, juicy double play ground ball. Maddux with the pitch. Let's see, that's a 362. 362. Nicely done. So Maddox will get the ground ball that they needed. That'll be hit to DeRosa at second. He'll step on the bag himself, flip it over to not Phillips. Flip it over to Fick for a 4-3 double play, and that will retire the side. Stadium breathes a sigh of relief as the Braves escape trouble. But fatigue will start being a thing for Maddox now, so they are going to keep Hodges warming up in the bullpen. Braves fans, the Braves were getting very nervous about the... Braves fans were very nervous coming out of that. We're nervous coming out of that inning. Wait a minute. Something's not right. Oh, Sanchez should be toward the bottom of the lineup. I knew something was wrong. So Maddox manages to get the double play ball he needs to get out of the inning. Bottom of the fifth now, as Andrew Jones steps into the batter's box. He grounded out his first time up. Traxel is still good to go. He will look in at Wilson for the pitch. That's a 407. Andrew Jones against a righty. He'll work a walk out of that. He's number 5, so he'll reach with a base on balls. That will be ball 4. That will bring Robert Fick up to the hill. Jones does not have terribly good speed, so he's probably not a big steal threat. I know stealing is a thing in this game. I'm just trying to remember where. Steal attempts, he'd have to challenge the catcher's arm, I believe, and I don't think... Try to establish a lead. He's a steal of 2. Greater than 10 plus hold. Traxel a 3 hold with a 3 speed. He's not going to try it. Andrew Jones isn't going anywhere. Robert Fick up next. He flew out to short his first time up. Traxel will look in for the offering. And the pitch. That's a 116. 116, that'll be grounded back to the pitcher, flipped over to short for the fielder's choice. That's second. That'll be 1 away as Fick will reach. And that'll bring Castilla up to the plate. He struck out swinging his first time up. Traxel looks in at Wilson for the sign and the pitch. Fans at Turner Field are hoping for a good at-bat from Castilla. But here's the pitch. 6:59, and now that we're paying attention, we're going to go to 6:69. That'll be a wild pitch, and I believe on a wild pitch... Is there any way to... I believe it... Is it a check to advance or just advance? It's probably in the results section. Where is it? I know there's a section in here on wild pitches. I believe it means the runner just advances. Okay, the plus. Okay, so the plus is runner advances 1, long single, all runners advance 2. Okay, wild pitch, runners advance a base. So, yeah. So that means Fick just goes to second, and then we'll re-pitch. Traxel will try it again. Now he's got to be a lot more cautious with the runner in scoring position. Now that's a 274. against a righty. 274. That's not very cautious. That's deep to left field. Castilla's a power of 7. Does he make this a 2-run? Does he make this a 2-run lead for the Braves? This is deep to the left. 7 plus 1 is 8. Oh boy. That's going to be a really long single. Let's see, that's 8. That's just a single. And runner 2 could try to advance, I think. With a question mark, I think it's just... So Castilla's going to get on with a really long single. At the very least, Fick's going to advance, but with a speed of 1, I don't think he would be challenging an arm anyway very successfully. Left fielder is Floyd. Actually, left is Floyd with an arm of 5. Yeah, he's not challenging that. So we're going to end up with runners at the corners for the Braves with 1 out. Henry Blanco coming up to the plate. He is... So that's going to be a really long single for Castilla. Blanco is 0 for 1. He lined out his first time up. Traxel is going to try to settle this down and get out of the inning. Traxel looking at Wilson for the pitch. .697. That's going to turn into a .707 though. And that's going to be a deep drive to center field. Blanco got a hold of one, but he's only got a power of 1. He's going to have to muscle this thing out to center field. Question is, can he? It's a 1 to center field. 7 is not going to muscle it out, but that will be a single. So 6 was Fick. He'll come in to score, make it 2-1. Castilla with a speed of 1 is also not going to try to advance. So Blanco's going to end up on with a single, still only 1 out, but it's deep enough for an RBI single, as the stadium lets out a big cheer. Yay! I know it's not as good as RJL Network does it, but I tend to be more of the analytical presentation anyway. So Andrew Jones, Fick, Castilla, and Blanco are both on. Maddox is actually going to be done here. I'll total up his stats once I turn the camera off, but the Braves are going to pinch hit for Maddox. He was having some control issues toward the end there. So I'm just going to make some notes on my score sheet. So who's going to come in to pinch hit for the Braves? They're going to bring Marcus Giles into pinch hit for the... We're going to bring Marcus Giles into pinch hit. We'll meet him in a second. 21 homers and 69 RBI in 2003. Traxel is all of a sudden in a lot of trouble here. Let's see what happens here with Traxel's next offering. Wilson's telling him to settle down. That's a 695. That is not very settled down at all, because a 695 turns into, it's only 5. That's still enough for a 700. That's another deep drive to center field. Marcus Giles may have just extended the lead with one swing of his bat. We'll find out, though. He's got a power of 7. He's got a lot of power. Seven plus 2 is 9. That's a long single where the runners will advance 1 base. So we'll advance, I believe, an extra base. So that'll bring Castilla into score. Blanco will go to third. Is that 1 extra base or just the 1? Runners on second and third score. Runner on first stops at second. So that'll put Blanco at second. Giles will get to first. Castilla will score. And that is now 3-1 Braves as the stadium lets out a big cheer. Yay! All right, so Castillo's in to score. Blanco and Giles are on at first and second. And that'll bring Furcal back up to the plate. He is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and lined out his first 2 times up. Traxel trying to get out of the inning, but we're going to get some activity in the Mets bullpen as well, as they're going to get... Who are they going to start warming up in the bullpen? The Mets are going to get Pedro Feliciano loose in the bullpen. Here we got Rafael Furcal due up. Traxel looking on, trying to get out of the inning. Here's the pitch. That's a 253 against a switch left. 253. 253, that'll get flied to right. That'll get flied to right where Perez is waiting for it. For out number 2. Runners will hold, and that'll bring DeRosa up to the plate, who's flown out and grounded out his first 2 times up. Traxel trying to get out of this inning. Sanchez with the pitch, or Traxel with the pitch. That is a cock D6 if I've ever seen one. And that's a 604, which will turn into a 609. DeRosa will strike out swinging to finally end the inning. But the Braves get 2 runs. The Braves get 2 runs on 3 hits and a walk, and they leave 2 men on base. But still, that is enough for a 3-1 Atlanta lead. I'll update the dials here. This one's ridiculously tight, but it's now 3-1 Braves, and now we'll have a new pitcher start the 6th for actually new pitchers for both teams. Maddox will be done for the day. Coming in to pitch for the Braves will be Trey Hodges, who appeared in 52 games with a 4.66 ERA and 66 strikeouts in 2003. He'll be tasked with the heart of the Mets order. Cliff Floyd is up first. Cliff Floyd is 0 for 2 today, though he's flown out twice. Let's see what Hodges is able to do with the pitch. That's a 423 against a righty for Floyd. 423. Cliff Floyd's going to get a walk in this one, so he'll reach base for the first time today. And that'll bring Wigginton up, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout today. Hodges not looking sharp in his first appearance, in his first batter, giving up a walk to Floyd. We'll see what he's able to do with Wigginton, though. That's a 351. 351. That'll be a fly out to right field, where Sheffield will wait for it. That'll be 1 away. And Floyd's going to stay put with not great speed. He'd have to challenge Sheffield's arm. A 13 with 3 speed. He's not going to try it. Floyd will stay at first as Timo Perez steps into the batter's box. He's also 1 for 2 with a single today. Hodges with the pitch. That's a 693. That's not good. 693. Perez is going to end up with a double. Floyd will go to third. Perez is going to end up at second. And just like that, we got runners at second and third with 1 out. That is not what you want to see in relief. Trying to task with protecting a 2-run lead. Vance Wilson will come up next. He's got pretty good power. So they're actually going to put him on with an intentional walk, set up the double play at... They're going to put him on with an intentional walk to load the bases and set up the double play. The infield will then come in to try to prevent the run from scoring. So the okay, so that'll bring Sanchez up, who's got almost no power to speak of. They're taking a bit of a risk here in loading the bases to get to Sanchez. Blanco's going out to try to tell Hodges to calm down and try to get out of this inning. Hodges looks in at Blanco, and he'll get the sign for the pitch. That's a 1-0-2, which will turn into a 3-0-2. Sanchez will strike out swinging, and that was a much-needed strikeout for... Hodges. And then with Traxel due up, the Mets have a pitcher all ready to go, but they're going to pinch hit for... What's his name? They're going to pinch hit for Traxel. Traxel is going to be done here as well. So they're going to bring in Marco Scutaro to pinch hit. Yeah, he had 2 homers and 6 RBI in 2003. Hodges will look in with 2 outs now in the... Hodges will look in with 2 outs in the top of the 6th, trying to get out of this inning, get out of a pretty bad bases-loaded jam. Hodges looks into Blanco for the sign. That's a 5-0-1, which means that's a 5-0-1. So that means we're going to have another rare play. With the bases, let me find my rare plays once again. 5-0-1 with the sacks packed. Rare play. So we roll again. That's a 544. And a 544 on the rare play chart. Hard line drive. Deflects off the pitcher. Pitcher grabs the ball and throws to first for the out. So they will get the put out to retire the side, but we need to check for an injury. I think I just saw the injury check. All right. Okay, so Hodges will be out of the game after this, which means they'll need another new pitcher. More importantly, though, in the more immediate effect, the Mets actually leave the bases loaded. They can't do anything with a jam, and they manage to get out of it. Hodges will be done after this. We'll get more activity in the Atlanta bullpen, as they're going to get another reliever ready. They're going to get... They're going to start getting Young Bong loose in the Atlanta bullpen. With that, we're going to move to the bottom of the 5th, with the heart of Atlanta's order coming up after I reorganize the Met lineup. Okay. All right, so Reyes, Duncan, Jason Phillips. There's Cliff Floyd, Wigginton, Perez, Wilson, Sanchez. Okay, now we've got that figured out. And then these are... Okay, so those are the batters. Coming in to pitch for the Mets will be the reliever they started warming up, Pedro Feliciano, who had 43 strikeouts and 21 walks in 23 games in 2003. Due up first for the Braves in the bottom of the 6th is Gary Sheffield. He's 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out his first time up. Feliciano looking at the pitch. Feliciano looking into Blanco for the sign and the pitch. That's a 268 against a righty, 268. That'll be grounded to short, where Reyes will grab it, flip it over to Phillips for an easy put out. So 6-3, 1 away. That'll bring Chipper Jones up to the plate, who's 1 for 2 with the homer that tied this game all the way back in the second, which now seems like a lifetime ago, as the Braves now are holding a 3-1 lead. Feliciano will look in at Wilson for the sign and the pitch. That's a 124. That'll turn into a 324, and that'll be a fly out to right field, where Perez will wait for that. He'll grab it for 2 away. That'll bring Andrew Jones up, who's 0 for 1 with a walk today. Feliciano will look in for the pitch. That'll be a 329, which will come off a Jones card. He will strike out swinging to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 will go the Braves in the bottom of the 6th. And after 6, it remains 3-2. So, top of the 7th, when we get to that, I will compile stats for Trey Hodges, and then we'll need a new pitcher for the Braves. The Braves will have their third pitcher already, Young Bong, after the injury to Trey Hodges back in the 6th. He had 47 strikeouts and 31 walks in 2003 on a 5.05 ERA. Not great, well, maybe not bad for a reliever. But he's got the top of the Mets order due up in the top of the 7th, starting off with Jose Reyes, who's flown out 3 times today, so he's 0 for 3. Bong looks in on Blanco, and with the pitch, you adjust that just a touch. That's a 466 against a lefty. 466 is going to be a single, and he can potentially advance if he wants to challenge the right fielder's arm. So Reyes is going to end up with a single. He's got pretty good speed at a 9 speed. Andrew Jones who's the right fielder for the Braves? Gary Sheffield's the right fielder. His arm is a 3. With a 9 speed, he's going to try it. He's going to try to get something started. So Sheffield arm plus 10 is a 13. Reyes already has 9 speed. He will easily reach second. I didn't even need to look at the other D10s, but the 4 on the D6 is more than enough for him to reach with a leadoff double. So he's going to end up with a double right off the bat. And that'll bring Jeff Duncan to the plate. Jeff Duncan is 1 for 3 with a strikeout and a single today. All of a sudden, Bong finding himself in trouble already with a leadoff double. Bong looks in at Blanco for the pitch. That's a 130. Camera cutout must have been a temperature thing, I'm guessing. Anyway, 130 for Bong turns into a 330 because of the result on the card. 330 is a much-needed strikeout, as Duncan will strike out looking at a curveball just on the outside corner. 1 away will bring Jason Phillips back up to the plate. He is 1 for 3 with a double and a strikeout. Bong trying to work around a leadoff double from Reyes. Reyes is probably cutting this lead in half if he gets an opportunity to advance. Bong looking for the pitch. That's a 522. 2 is the catcher, and the catcher is Blanco. So we go to his card. 522. Bong is getting another strikeout on that one. That's a swinging strike 3. As Phillips goes chasing a slider, trying to get Reyes in with the run to cut the lead in half. That'll bring Floyd up to the plate, who's got some decent power. He's 0 for 2 though with a walk today. Bong trying to get away from a leadoff double, and he's almost done it. Bong looks in at Blanco for the pitch. That's a 360. 360 for Floyd. That'll be a single. No opportunity for... actually, Reyes, could he try to take third? Probably by challenge. No, I don't think there was a plus there. So I think the runner just... Oh no, runners do advance one base. So yes. So actually 306. Wait, that's a 360. So yes, that'll be an infield single, which means Reyes will end up at third base. But there are 2 outs in the inning. We'll see what Wigginton can do with that. Bong trying to get out of the inning. He's getting in a little bit of trouble, but hopefully not too much. Bong looks at Blanco for the pitch. That's a 327. That'll be a swinging strike 3 as Wigginton tries to do too much with it. And he'll get out of the... And Bong will actually manage to get out of the 7th inning with only the leadoff double, and then he'll strike out the side. So Bong dodges a lot of trouble because a leadoff, like I've been saying, a leadoff double had the potential to be a huge disaster for the Braves, but they managed to keep it in control as we get to the 7th inning stretch. Feliciano coming in for the bottom of the 7th. He technically is tired, so each base runner will add to his fatigue level. The Mets actually... No, I take that back. They're actually going to pull Feliciano here. They're going to bring in another reliever. They're going to bring in Dan Wheeler, who had 35 strikeouts and 17 walks in 35 games on a 3.71 ERA in 2003. I'm going to compile stats real quick for Feliciano. All right, let's see. Feliciano worked the 6th. Nothing of interest. Just the 1 strikeout. And Wheeler's being charged with keeping the middle of Atlanta's order in check, which Robert Fick is 0 for 2. He hit into a fielder's choice back in the 5th. Wheeler will look to make the pitch. Let's see, that's a 270 against a righty. That's going to be a deep fly to center field. Jones has a lot of power. Jones got a hold of one that got left over the plate. He's a power of an 8 to center field. Plus 13. Yeah, I think... Yeah, Jeff Duncan's just going to turn around and watch that one fly out of there. That's going to end up in an upper deck shot. Boom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. And, yeah, that thing is not coming down for a while. Home run, Andrew Jones. Actually, no. Wait a minute. Hang on. Fick got a hold of it. 13, I think, is probably still deep enough to take it out. 5 and 13. Yep, that is still deep enough. So so let's try that again. Boom! That ball is high. That ball is deep. And, yeah, that's not coming down for a while. Home run, Robert Fick. And it is now 4-1 Atlanta. Stadium cheers. Yay! I know that's not an enthusiastic cheer, but yeah, we're not going to go there. Anywho, that minor drama aside, Vinny Castilla is up to the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout today. Wheeler comes in and immediately gives up a leadoff home run. Not a good thing here. Wheeler trying to settle down after the leadoff bomb. And the pitch. 538. So that'll go to the fielder card. That'll go to the first baseman. First baseman is Phillips. 538. Will be a single to right. So Castillo will get on with a single. And we're already going to get more activity in the Mets bullpen as Wheeler apparently is not going to be able to get anybody out today. They'll get David Weathers loose in the Mets bullpen as Henry Blanco now steps up to the plate. Blanco is... You reach over, grab my pen. Blanco is also 1 for 2 with a single today, so let's see what Wheeler's able to do with Blanco at the plate. Wheeler with a 210 against a righty. 210 against a righty. Oh, he's going to get a nice little consolation prize there. That's going to be grounded down to Reyes. Reyes will flip it over to Sanchez. Sanchez will move it over to Phillips for a 6-4-3 double play. And that'll be 2 outs in the inning. Due up next is the pitcher spot. Young Bong is due up, but I think they're going to pull him at this point. So Bong worked the 7th, gave up a hit, no runs, no walks, 3 strikeouts. So they're going to pinch hit and get some activity in the Atlanta bullpen. They're going to get Ray King warming up, trying to bridge it over to Smoltz. John Smoltz, the closer. They're going to bring Javi Lopez in to pinch hit. He had 43 homers and 109 RBI in 2003. Got to grab my pen once again. All right. Wheeler trying desperately to get out of the inning. He had a huge gift in that double play that Blanco just bounced into. We'll see what Lopez can do with the pinch hit at bat. Here comes the pitch from Wheeler. 355 against a righty. Actually, 355 is coming off of Lopez's card. He's going to fly out to right field, where Perez is going to wait for it there and squeeze it to retire the side. 1 run, 1 hit, and that's the 7th inning. So score is now 4-1 Atlanta. It would help if I update the dial. Top of the 8th now, and we'll lead off, and we'll have the middle of the Mets order due up. We'll have the middle of the Mets order due up, along with me getting a new battery and Atlanta getting a new pitcher as Ray King will come in to pitch. 80 games played, 43 strikeouts, 27 walks on a 3.51 ERA in 2003. He's going to be in charge of keeping this a 4-1 game for Smoltz to come in and try to finish this thing up. So, he'll start off with Timo Perez due at the plate. Perez is 2 for 3, though, with a single and a double today. So let's see what King can do with this. Here comes the pitch. That will be once I flip those over. That will be a 129. And that'll turn into a 329 coming off of Perez's card. 329 is going to be an infield single. Not what you want to see when you're trying to keep this a... Wait. Should be Ty Wigginton due up. Just did it again. 129 still turns into a 329. 329 is actually going to be a strikeout. So that's a much more welcome result for Ray King than the infield single that they were initially looking at. Now Timo Perez is due up. Now with so Wigginton was 1 for 3 with a single. 1 for 3 with a single. Now he's 1 for 3 with a single and 2 strikeouts. Now we've got Perez due up, who is 2 for 3 with a single and a double. Ray King hoping to keep this a 3-run game. Perez with the pitch. Perez waits for the pitch. 467 against the lefty. That'll be lined out to first, where Fick will grab that, and there'll be 2 away. Wilson due up next. Wilson is 0 for 2 with a walk. King is looking for a nice easy 1-2-3 inning. .544 will bring us to the second baseman's card. Second baseman for Atlanta is now marked as Giles. He stayed in the game when he pinch hit back in the 5th. Somehow he hasn't batted yet. That's kind of surprising. But Marcus Giles did stay in the game. 544. Giles will pick that up, move that over to Fick, and that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. So 4-3. And that will be it for the Mets. They'll go 1-2-3 in the first. Ray King, I'll go ahead and compile stats for him. 1, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. And with that, John Smoltz is going to make a beeline for his warm-up tosses as Bobby Cox is going to make the call into the bullpen to get the closer loosening up. The Braves have had enough of this game, and they want to just make sure they can close the door on this one. There's Smoltz's pitcher card. Coming in to pitch for the Mets. Actually, let me compile stats for Dan Wheeler, but we are going to have a new pitcher in a second here. So, Dan Wheeler worked the 6th, Wheeler had the 7th. So Wheeler gave up 2 hits, 1 run, and nothing else. Right, coming in to pitch for the Mets will be David Weathers, who had a 3.08 ERA with 75 strikeouts and 40 walks in 2003. He'll be tasked with the top of the Atlanta order. Rafael Furcal is due up first. He is 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out, lined out, and flown out. The only thing he hasn't done yet for the out cycle is strikeout. He definitely doesn't want to do that, though. Furcal waits for the pitch from Weathers. That's a 6.38. That'll bring us up to Turner Field, which will turn into a 6.43. And that'll be a ground ball to second, where Sanchez will grab that. He'll move that over to first, over to Phillips at first, and that'll be the out. And that'll bring Giles up, Giles flew out his first time up. He got a single back in the 5th. So Giles' first time up to the plate since staying in the game after pinch hitting back in the 5th. Weathers with the pitch. 3-11. He'll strike out this time. He'll strike out swinging. And that'll bring Sheffield up, who is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and flown out. Weathers trying to keep this a 3-run game to keep the Mets within something resembling striking distance. That's a 160, which is coming off of Weathers' card. That'll be a walk. That's not something he wants to see there. So Sheffield will reach with a 2-out walk, and that'll bring Chipper Jones up. Making some notes here. Chipper Jones is 1 for 3, but he had the home run that tied this game all the way back in the 2nd, which now, once again, seems like a lifetime ago. So Weathers trying to keep the damage under control here to nothing. We've got the pitch. That's a 468. 468 against a righty. He's going to fly out to third, where Wigginton will wait for that. We'll wait for that to come down. He'll make the play, and that'll end the inning. No runs on no hits and a walk. A 2-out walk that the Braves couldn't do anything with. Top of the 9th now, and Atlanta is very much looking to get this game over with. So, let's move into the top of the 9th. Heading into the top of the 9th, and to borrow a question from RJL Network, will we see some 9th inning magic? Bobby Cox must be expecting the Mets to try something because he's bringing in the heavy artillery. He's going to bring John Smoltz in to try to close this game out. 45 saves in 2003, 73 strikeouts and 8 walks on a 1.12 ERA. You need somebody to drop the hammer. You couldn't turn to somebody much better than John Smoltz, especially since he's charged with the bottom, looping around to the top of the Atlanta order. So Ray Sanchez is up first, although he's got 2 singles and a strikeout, so we'll see what Smoltz... Wait, I put Smoltz on the Mets stack. It would help if I put him on the Braves stack so I don't get confused. All right, Smoltz now sets up and gets ready to deal. That's a 506, which means we're going to have a rare play right off the bat. Not something Smoltz, I don't think, wants to see at this point of the game. He's trying to keep this thing under control. So bases empty with nobody out. We'll roll again for the rare play. That's a 365. And a 365 is going to be a single to center field. So Sanchez will reach with a leadoff single. And if the tens digit is higher than the center field's fielding, which the center fielder is Andrew Jones, which I've got right here. Fielding is an 8. The tens is a 6, which means Sanchez will stay put. No error coming off of that. Then with the pitcher due up, the Mets are going to pinch hit in a heartbeat for that. They're not going to let Weathers bat in the 9th. They're going to get some activity in the bullpen just in case they can somehow get 3 runs out of this. They're going to get Jamie Serta loose in the bullpen, but as for the order of pinch hitting, they're going to bring Mike Piazza into pinch hit. 11 homers, 30 RBIs in 2003. Make a note of that. And just like that, things are getting very interesting here in New York as the leadoff man gets on. As Sanchez gets on with a leadoff single in the top of the 9th. Not what Smoltz wanted to see to start the inning. Piazza coming in now. Fans at Turner Field are hoping for a good pitch. Smoltz will wind up and pitch. That's a 256 against a righty. 256, that'll be a swinging strike 3 as Piazza tries to do too much with the slider. That'll be 1 away and bringing the top of the order back up. Jose Reyes, who had a double his last time up in the 7th, but he's also flown out 3 times. Smoltz looking to get this game over with, so Smoltz will look in at Blanco for the sign and the pitch. That's a 564, which will bring us to the shortstop, which for the Braves is for call. Then a 564 will be a 6-4-3 double play. For call will hit the ground ball to shortstop. For call grabs it, flips over to Giles as he avoids a sliding Sanchez, flips it over to first. They get the out, and that's your ball game, folks. So the Braves will make sure nothing cute happens in the top of the 9th, and they'll get this game 4-1, beating the Mets. Finish up my final line score here. The Mets actually had more hits in this game. Yeah, that's what it looks like here. The Mets, the Mets had 1 run on 9 hits, but the Braves were able to do more with their hits with 4 runs on 6 hits, including a solo bomb by Chipper Jones all the way back in the 2nd inning. Your winning pitcher today is Greg Maddux. Steve Traxel eats the loss, and John Smoltz gets the save. We're not quite done yet, though, because I'm running another test here for a project I'm looking at doing later this year. So I'm looking at potentially doing a season replay later this year, and I've got a couple of ticker games that I'm going to test for the rest of the day on July 17th, 2003. So we're going to start with those, and we're going to start off first with the Downey Games Ultra Quick Baseball ticker. So the Braves managed to defeat the Mets 4-1 in our feature game of season ticket baseball today. Let's see how the rest of the majors does, and we're going to compare two different ticker games so I can decide which one I like best. First up, we're going to have Ultra Quick Baseball from Downey Games. This is a game that uses your letter ratings and then a roll on the chart for the appropriate column to determine how many runs your team scores. So if I was going to use this as a ticker game, I was not going to sit for like 3 hours and try to calculate every single rating, every single final adjusted rating once you adjust for pitching and defense and home field advantage. So what I did was I actually set up an Excel spreadsheet. I set up a little Excel process to do all of that for me. The short version is I take the initial rating for each team, I convert that to a number based on the normal alphabet, so it's fairly simple. Then I do the adjustments to the number, then I convert it back to a letter so I can get the column I need to roll off on. If you want to see a more detailed version of how I do that, then you can leave a comment in the description down below. And if there's enough people who are interested in how I set that up, then I'll do a deeper video where I walk through how I set all of that up. But enough rambling on how that works. So we're going to go to our ticker tape using Ultra Quick Baseball. I've got two different colors and sizes of dice. So I'm going to use the yellow dice for the home team and the pink for the away team. This was July 17th, 2003, and I just put the score sheet. I think I put the score sheet in there. So yes, this is July 17th, 2003. So let me just note that. So we're going to play the rest of these games. First up, we've got Anaheim at Baltimore. So we'll go ahead and roll that. All right. I think we decided pink for the visitor. So Anaheim is Q56. Q56 will be 6 runs. The Orioles are P35. I don't think that'll be enough. P35 is 4. So that'll be a win for the Angels. Blue Jays are in Boston taking on the Red Sox. Blue Jays are U51. U51 is 6. Red Sox X44. X44 is 7. That'll just barely be a win for the Red Sox. I believe I have the same score for the scoring chart rolls. Okay. So yeah, that's a win for the Red Sox. Tigers visiting the White Sox. Detroit K33. K33 is 3. White Sox V21. V21 is 4. That'll be a win for the White Sox. Astros are in Cincinnati visiting the Reds. Houston V13 is 3. Reds M62. M62 is 5. That will be a win for the Reds. Mariners and the Royals. Mariners T45. T45 is 5. And Royals E24. E24 is 1. Mariners will come into Kansas City and beat the Royals. St. Louis and the Dodgers. Cardinals N65. N65 is 8. Dodgers M52. M52 is 4. That'll be a win for the Cardinals. Athletics and the Twins. Athletics P31 is 3. Twins P16. P16 is also 3. So we have a pressure roll. So we're going to have a pressure roll here. We'll roll for both teams on this one, I believe. Yeah, simply take each team's pressure rating. So we'll roll both of those. Athletics are a B64 on the pressure chart. They will score an extra run. The Twins are a J. Actually, they're an M64. They're an M66. They will score an extra run. So wait. Hold on. I think that was a 3. I think that was a. Oh, I must have written 2, but I said 3. So they're both going to score an extra run, which means we'll have extra innings. All right, so that's back to the extra inning chart now. All right, back to pressure once again. Wait, L and J. I think they both would have still scored anyway. Yeah. So extra innings. Athletics are L26. L26, they won't score. Twins are a J13. They won't either. Do we roll? Game remains tied. By both teams. So extra innings. We repeat until we have a winner. Oh, this is going to be fun. So we're into the 11th now. Athletics, back to an L62. They'll pick up 2 runs in the 11th. Twins are J42. They'll pick up nothing on that. So the Athletics will win 6-4 in 11 innings. Indians and the Yankees. Indians are N63, back to the regular scoring chart. N63 is 6. Yankees are U32. U32 is 4. That will be a win for the Tribe. Expos are in Philadelphia. Expos N35 is 3. Phillies Q30. Actually, Q35. Q35 is 4. Just missing a big game, but that'll be a win for the Phillies. Brewers and the Pirates. Brewers Q55. Q55 is 6. Pirates S26 is 4. That'll be a win for the Brewers. Diamondbacks and the Padres. Diamondbacks R63. R63 is 8. Padres L66 is 8. They will have extras. So back to our pressure chart we go. Arizona on the pressure chart, I-26. No score there. Padres A-15. They will also fold under the pressure, which means we'll have extras. Arizona is an I-45. They'll pick up a run. Padres with an A-11 will not. That'll be a win for the Diamondbacks in 10 innings. Rockies and the Giants. Colorado is a Q66. Q66 is 9. Giants U41. U41 is 5. That will be a win for the Rockies. Rangers and the Devil Rays. Rangers S31 is 4. Devil Rays are R26. R26 is 3. That'll be a win for the Rangers. That's the Downey Baseball Ultra. That's the Downey Games Ultra Quick Baseball ticker test. Now let's move over to my other ticker game, Fast Score Baseball. This is the other ticker tape game I'm evaluating, Fast Score Baseball. This is going to be a little more straightforward, where we're just going to have we have the ratings already calculated for us, so we're going to use the same colors. Pink for the away, yellow for the home. So we'll start off with the Angels and the Orioles. Angels, 1345. 1345 is 6. Orioles, 1051. 1051 is also 6, and already we have extras. Which brings us to this chart. Okay, let me double check how extras work. Roll 1 die, add the clutch rating. All right. Angels are 3, minus 2 is 3. Baltimore is 3 and 3. And if they're both tied, so the Orioles will pick up the win 6-5 in extras. Boston hosting Toronto. Blue Jays, 1463. 1463 is 9. Red Sox, 1133 is 4. That'll be a win for the Blue Jays. Tigers and the White Sox. I'm not going to nearly have this as down as RJL does, but this is just a test anyway. Tigers, 312. That is 0. White Sox, 1446, and that's probably going to be a blowout. 1446 is 7. Yep, the White Sox are going to blow out the Tigers. Mariners and the Royals. Mariners, 1232. 1232 is 4. Royals, 1044 is 5. That'll be a win for the Royals. Athletics and the Twins. If I can ever get the dice out. Athletics, 1054. 1054 is 6. Twins, 535. 535 is 3. That'll be a win for the Athletics. Indians and the Yankees. Indians, 645 is 4. Yankees, 1461. 1461 is 8. That'll be a win for the Yankees. Rangers and the Devil Rays. Rangers, 1732. 1732 is 5. Devil Rays. Devil Rays are 1015. That's 2. That'll be a win for the Rangers. Astros and the Reds. Astros are 1122. 1122, that's 3. Reds, 956 is 7. That'll be a win for the Reds. Cardinals and the Dodgers. Cardinals, 756 is 6. Dodgers, 636. 636 is 3. That's a win for the Redbirds. Expos are in Philadelphia. Expos, 735 is 4. Phillies, 1144 is 5. That'll be a win for the Phillies. Brewers and the Pirates. Brewers, 1246 is 6. Pirates 1315. 1315 is 3. That's a win for the Brew Crew. Diamondbacks and the Padres. Diamondbacks 1162 is 8. Padres 452 is 4. That's a win for the Diamondbacks. Rockies and the Giants last up. Rockies 1264 is 9. Giants 1235 is 5. That's a win for the Rockies. And that is my ticker test on Fast Score Baseball and Downey Games Ultra Quick Baseball. I'm going to be running another test on that on the ticker games this week. But I think right now, if I'm preparing for a season replay, I'm honestly leaning in the Fast Score Baseball direction just on this first test. But we'll see how that plays out. But that will do it for this Marathon Baseball video featuring the day of action from July 17th, 2003. Wednesday we'll be playing Appa Baseball with a 2004 matchup. Saturday, Mystical Munchies will be making the side, and I'm trying to remember what the side is. Oh, baked pears with gorgonzola and candied walnuts. Next week, we're going to the comics world as we play Sentinels of the Multiverse. In more immediate concerns, though, Jester, Higher Ground Gaming, and I will be counting down our top 100 board games of all time for the 2024 edition, starting tonight at 7 Central, 8 Eastern on Jester's channel, which I'll link in the description down below. Tuesdays we'll be doing that as well, but that'll be at 8 o'clock. I'll put a link to Jester's channel in the description down below. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone.